All right. Let me just see here for live. I think we are. All right, we are live now. Hello, everyone, and happy Tuesday. I feel like it's a Monday, but it's actually Tuesday. And we're doing two things today. We are going to do our wrap-up call for the 21-day challenge. I'm going to announce the winner. And then the other topic that we're going to talk about today is how to navigate dining out, restaurant meals, and still stay on plan so that you can, achieve your fat loss goals. Because I feel like this is a big thing that a lot of people struggle with is their weekends. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can actually navigate this and still see results without really blowing everything out of the water. So, but we'll get into that afterwards as well. But for now, let's talk about the challenge. So, thank you everyone who participated in the challenge, and I want to congratulate all of you for doing this. And for all of this time that was spent participating, also in the mini challenge, and just really cheering each other on. It was great to see everyone supporting each other, especially in the group chat that we had. I know the feedback is that a lot of you guys like the group chat. Some of you don't like the group chat. So it was kind of mixed feelings about that. Some people felt it was overwhelming, but then other people, I thought, really liked the group chat just for support. And I was able to kind of, chime in whenever I could to provide you with as much support as possible. So I'm super excited that you all made it to the end of the challenge. And I just wanted to say that you should be really proud of yourself. Not too many people sign up for a challenge and complete the challenge and put it into practice. Like I said, I had about 170 people sign up for this challenge. Like I counted, like probably around 20% of those 170 people still like participated. A lot of them dropped off after week one. So for those of you that did that, then you probably need some extra accountability and help, which we can help you through our one-on-one coaching program. But and the fact that for those of you that done it to the end means that you did exactly that. You put everything into practice that I taught you throughout the challenge. Now, here's the caveat. This is a gift that keeps on giving. These habits are the foundation that have helped hundreds of our female clients over 40 transform their bodies, achieve their fitness goals, and transform their lives. These habits will serve you when there's ups and downs in your journey. You can always fall back on these habits when you are struggling. So I just want to say, do not stop, keep going. You will get better. You will get more efficient. You will start to notice that things get easier. This is something that is truly just the beginning of what you are capable of and how far you can take it. How far you decide to take it, that is really dependent on you. If you keep on putting in the reps and you keep showing up every single day, you will be able to take this as far as you want and really adapt more of that growth mindset. That growth mindset, meaning like knowing that anything is possible, as long as you put your mind to it and you put in the reps and you do the actions, you will get to where you want to be. One thing that I heard that was really interesting today, that it's like there's three types of work that you can do. There is guesswork. Okay. There is guesswork, which you're just doing work and guessing and hoping that you'll get the results that you want. There is hard work, which, I love hard work as well too. And then there are frameworks. Okay. So there are three different types of work that you could do. Hard work, where like you put in the work, like my parents worked really hard. My grandparents worked really hard, and they got to certain places by working hard. Guesswork is where you're just guessing and hoping and praying that things are going to happen, but the framework is what gets you the results as quickly as possible. And that's what we try to offer everyone that work with us, is we give you that framework. We have phases in our program, and it's a specific framework that works, that those that have gone through our one-on-one coaching program, they get to the results a lot faster, as opposed to doing a lot of guesswork. So this really depends on you and how far you want to take it. That is a promise that is a fact. And I've seen it firsthand, not only with myself, but with also all of our clients. The clients that we have coached and taught these foundational habits, they have implemented it and they have learned it and they have embodied it. Now we know that 21 days is not long enough to build up those foundational habits, because what we see is that life happens and that people get off track. And this is where most people get stuck. You know, they have that one cookie and they say, screw it, I'm just going to eat whatever I want for the rest of the day. And then the next day, and then it goes to the entire weekend. And then it starts again on Monday, and the cycle goes on and on and on and on. So creating habits that work for you is really key in changing the mindset that affect the behaviors. And that is really what changes your habits, okay? So the bottom line is congratulations. Now, number two, you should be really proud. And number three, you need to keep on going with whatever path it is that you choose. A lot of you have chosen to join our one-on-one coaching program. So we're really excited to work with you and really give you that framework to get you to where you want to be. So with that being said, it was very difficult for me to pick the final winners, as a lot of you did so well. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. You all had some amazing wins, which we all shared. Some of you lost some weight in inches. A lot of you had more energy. A lot of you got stronger. You slept better. You just felt a lot better overall, which is really incredible to see in only 21 days. And if you continue to apply these habits, you will continue to see results and feel better and stronger every day. Okay. So without further ado, let's see who's watching live here. Can't find the Zoom link. It's okay. You can be here. I thought I sent it out in the email, but that's all right. All right. So the winner of the challenge is actually Sharon Gallinger. Congratulations, Sharon. And the reason why I picked Sharon is because Sharon still did the challenge, even though she was on vacation, even though she was traveling, and she was very supportive to everyone else during this time. And you know, a lot of times these things alone, like I've actually had people reach out to me who was like, you know what, I'm traveling, so I can't do the challenge, or I'm only going to have to stop. No, Sharon started the challenge on vacation. And that, like, it to me, I was like, wow, okay, like that just shows me that she's one of our one-on-one coaching clients as well too, but that demonstrated to me a real growth mindset. Okay. And that is something that we try to teach all of our clients, is this growth mindset and taking responsibility for the things that you have control over, which is your own actions. And she applied that no matter what. Yes, she was on vacation, but she still had control over her own action. She still got her steps in. She still like set her alarm to go to bed early. Like she had control over these things. And I will tell you that there's a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. Like the fixed mindset is what really holds us back. It's like that saying of like, oh, I can't do this because of this. Oh, I can't do this because of that. But the thing is that the reality is like, there are things that we have control over and there are things that we don't have control over. And we really need to think about what are truly the things that we don't have control over. We don't have control over other people's actions. We don't have control over what other people think about us. We don't have control over the weather. We don't have control over the traffic. Everything else, we pretty much have, like, there are things that we have full control over, which is our actions and our thoughts and our beliefs. And there are things that are like, you know, maybe we have half control over. And so when we look at a growth mindset and like really, and this is what we try to teach all of our clients, that when we work with them through our chat, like our coaching program, is having that growth mindset. And so this is something that Sharon had really, really displayed. Even though she was on vacation, she still did the challenge. She still followed through and she did everything, because she knew that I still have control over my actions. I can still control the food that I eat. I can still control whether I go for a walk or not. You know, I can still control, a lot of things. And thank you, Lori, for saying that the coaching program is amazing. And Lori graduated from our coaching program, right? And so now she has the skills on how to do this for the rest of her life. She knows how to navigate everything for the rest of her life. So congratulations, Sharon. I did also pick a third week winner, which for a $50 gift card, and that third week winner is Val Mills. So congratulations, Val. She was also very active in the challenge, supporting each other. But I just want to congratulate each and every one of you. I know there was a cash prize in this, but I hope the value that you saw in this was more than winning the money. It's like, I think the fact that you showed up for yourself and you followed through with yourself, like this is an investment with long-term rewards that you will pay off for yourself forever. Okay, so congrats again, everyone. And Sharon for doing this. Highly recommend to anyone struggling. Larry says, lost my last 10 pounds due to menopause. Yes, congrats, Lori. Okay, so let's get into the training today. How do we navigate dining out even though we are on a fat loss journey? Okay, so first of all, when we're dining out, like you guys have been tracking in your apps, I'm going to give an example using Chronometer today. But let's just say, when we are in a calorie deficit, so that's an active dieting phase, and when our clients work with us, depending on where they are metabolically, like depending on what their metabolic score is, they may or may not be ready to go into a fat loss phase when they work with us. So we first work with them to build up their metabolism. And okay, no problem, Lori, no problem at all. To build up their metabolism, and then we put them in a fat loss phase. And so typically that fat loss phase means that we're in a calorie deficit. So let's just say that calorie deficit, actually, let's use yours, Tara. What did we say yours was, 1,700?
Yeah, about that.
Okay, so let's say we're in a calorie deficit at 1,700 calories, and let's just say we want to go and dine out, okay? So what I would do is we first need to manage these calories appropriately. And I always say, like, if we're gonna go out and dine out, I try to leave about 800 to 900 calories for that meal out, okay? So what we're gonna do today is we are going to pretend that we are going to the keg, that Tara's going to the keg, and we are going to plan out her meal before she goes to the keg. So you want to do this typically either the day of or the morning of before you go to that restaurant, okay? So I am going to pull up Chronometer. I don't have like your calories and everything all in here, but we know that we're going to be hitting about 1,700 calories. And how many grams of protein is your typical?
140.
140. Okay, perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to plan out to go to the keg for Tara. And she'll still be able to eat food and dine out and stay within her calories for the day. Okay. So we're going to click, this is Chronometer. This is what I prefer to use. You guys can do the same thing with MyFitnessPal as well too. But let's just say here, I'm going to look up the keg here. And let's do the grilled top sirloin. Would you normally have that, like a sirloin steak, let's say? Let's see what other ones there are.
I usually pick the smallest piece of steak, like a 7-ounce filet mignon or something. But I know that has bacon on it, so maybe not the best choice.
Okay, so let's do the grilled top sirloin. They have the 6-ounce option. Let's do that one. Okay, so we're going to put that in. Not bad. It's actually got 40 grams of protein in it. We're going to add that into that as well too. The next thing that we're going to do is let's put up the keg. For the side, we can do something like the mushroom rice. What would you normally do for your side?
Shrimp, the grilled shrimp.
Grilled shrimp. Oh, perfect. Okay, grilled shrimp. So one serving, we got another 25 grams of protein in there, 150 calories. So now we're only at 446 calories for this meal. Now let's add something else. Would you typically want to have a glass of wine with dinner? Or
Sure.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's do, I don't know if the keg has wine. Do they have wine? No. Okay, what kind of wine do you typically do?
You can just put in like a Merlot.
A Merlot? Okay. Wine. Okay, alcoholic beverage, wine, Merlot. What would you do? 5 ounces?
Yeah, usually the smallest one.
Okay, so perfect. So right now, her whole dinner is 568 calories. You probably want to do a side with that, like so probably some veggies or
Veggies. Yeah.
veggies. Okay, let's do that. So the keg, let's see if they have mixed green salad. I just want to see if they have something like vegetables.
Maybe grilled vegetable.
Yeah.
There you go. Side mixed vegetables.
Okay, let's see this one. This is 80 calories, fresh vegetables. Oh, wow. Okay. Side mixed vegetables, we'll add that in. 1 serving. So she can have this whole meal for 648 calories. And she's at like 70 grams of protein for the day. So let's plan out the rest of your day. Okay, so like this does require a little bit of planning, but look how easy this was. What do we take this? Like 3 minutes to figure out what Tara's gonna have for dinner at the keg. She's already pre-logged it in Chronometer. So now the other thing that we need to do is we actually need to figure out what she's gonna have for breakfast and lunch. Okay, so you're at 1,700 calories. We still have a lot of calories left over. So 1,700 minus 650. So we have about 1,050 calories. What we want to do is try and get Tara some extra protein, like between breakfast and lunch, and maybe a snack before she goes, so that we can get her as close as possible to the 140 grams of protein. So what would you typically have for a breakfast?
So let's say a smoothie, like with the diesel protein powder, yogurt, the high protein yogurt,
Okay.
the almond milk, and just a
Okay.
teaspoon or tablespoon of cocoa powder to make it chocolate. So I'm logging that in, and it's about 47 grams of protein.
Okay, perfect. So would you do the whey isolate milk chocolate?
Yes.
Let's see
Yeah,
that
the
one.
diesel.
Yeah, let's do, I think 1 serving, 30 grams. And then how much Greek yogurt?
3/4 of a cup is 19 grams of protein.
Oh, yeah, you did the high one.
Yeah.
What high protein? Yolkos, this one here.
Yeah. Oikos.
3/4 of a cup. Here we go. It's that one there. Yeah.
And
Okay.
then half a cup of almond milk.
Almond milk, almond milk. Here we go. Unsweetened. We're gonna do 0.5. And do you put and then you do cocoa powder?
Yeah, just 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder.
Cocoa powder, unsweetened. Let's see here, 1 tablespoon. Perfect. Okay. So now we're at 116 grams of protein for the day. Now for lunch, I would pick like a very lean source of cut of meat for lunch. So something like like chicken breast, turkey breast. I would even do, you can even do ground chicken or something like that. The other thing that you could do is you could do like an egg white and egg frittata. You could do something like that because that would be very low in calories, high. So let's just say we did, which one would you typically do, the chicken or the frittata?
I would put the chicken.
Okay, so let's do some chicken breast. And let's do about 130 grams. So that'll give her about 100, almost, actually, let's do 135. So that gives her 40 grams of protein. And look at that, we're like at 157 grams of protein. So we're done. So now she's only at 1,000 calories for the day. And she's still got like 1,700 calories left. So you can actually even, maybe if you wanted to, you could have some more food at the keg if you wanted to. Like maybe you could do the 8-ounce sirloin steak if you wanted to, or add in some mushrooms. Like, let's do that. Like you have it. You've already reached your protein goal for the day. But then keep in mind too, you want to have some carb at breakfast, a carb at lunch as well. So I would probably fill that in first. Like, what would you do for your carb at breakfast? Like any fruit or
How
anything?
about like a rice cake with natural peanut butter?
Okay, so we got some rice cake, one or two,
Just one.
just one. Okay, so we can do rice. Then we go natural peanut butter, salted. Like maybe we'll do a tablespoon, right? So now we're up to 12:18. Then at lunchtime, would you have some rice or a wrap? What would you have for a carb at lunch?
You could put a keto wrap for the chicken.
So keto wrap. Okay, so carb smart keto wrap. We'll put one wrap in there. And then, we're up to 1,400 calories. Are you going to do any fat at lunchtime, like olive oil, mayonnaise, like something like that?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's just say you did in your wrap like some mayonnaise, right? Like mayo, Kraft light mayo. Where was that one?
So I actually use Miracle Whip. Is that bad?
Oh, no, it's fine. There's no good or bad foods. It's
Well, I say that it's like got chemicals in it because it's not natural mayonnaise, right?
yeah. No, it's fine. Okay, let's say 1 tablespoon there. That'll be 20 calories. And then, yeah, like you probably want some veggies
I was
too.
gonna say add some veggies to the chicken and then put that in the wrap. So maybe some peppers.
Yeah, peppers. Okay, let's just say you did, I don't know, let's go grams here. I like grams. Let's say like you did 50 grams of peppers, not very much. You'll probably want to add some lettuce to it as well too, right? You can see here, you still are gonna have like lots of room here. Tablespoon. Let's go grams, probably like 20 grams of lettuce, not very much. You still here are still at 1,400 calories for the day. So you still have lots of room to add in maybe a snack before you go, or maybe just some more food when you're at the keg. But this is exactly how you would do this to dine out. And you don't have to worry about your protein. You're actually over in your protein goal for the day, which is amazing. Okay. So like anything, and it's okay to go over in your protein goal because the more protein, the better. You'll have a higher thermic effect of feeding. You're going to feel more full. You're going to feel more satiated. Maybe, you can add some more calories to your dinner. This is just like a loose idea, but like, hey, I'm only at 1,400 calories. I can go out to the keg, I can dine out, and I can still be within my calorie range for the day. So this is exactly how you would do it, guys. How you're going to dine out, still stay on track with what you want to have. Now, let's just say you're going to a party, because Tara, you go to a lot of parties. I would do the same thing. Like I would just leave yourself about 900 calories for that meal. And then I would just budget for 800 calories between breakfast and lunch. And then that way you have the rest of those calories. And while you're at that, like what I like to do, if I'm in a fat loss phase, like what I would do is while I'm at that party, I would start tracking like before I ate it. Like just take out, who doesn't have your phone? I always have my phone on me, right? I would take out my phone and like, okay, I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to track it. Okay. I'm going to have 2 drinks. I'm going to track it. The other thing too is like going into these situations with a plan ahead of time. Like how many drinks am I going to have, and pre-enter that into your tracking app. And then as you're eating the food, we know it's going to be estimated, but at least it gives you some guidelines. We know like, okay, you're not going to weigh your food. Don't ever do that at a party. But I'm just saying like, you can like at least estimate how much you're eating as you go through the night, and then be like, okay, you know what? I think I'm good. I ate this much. I kind of estimated it. I'm roughly around this many calories, and you're good. You're going to stop. You know that like you've reached your goal and your potential, and you're going to feel good the next day because you went in it with some guidance. You went in it with like some, you decided ahead of time, which that's the thing as well too, is what we're doing here is we're eliminating decision fatigue by deciding ahead of time what you're going to do, like how many drinks I'm going to have. Even when you're going out to dinner, I'm already deciding ahead of time what I'm going to have for dinner. I've already looked at the menu. Now, the keg is a really great example and not everything is going to be in here. Like I'm wondering, what other restaurants? Let's see, Kelsey's. Is Kelsey's in here? Kelsey's. Okay, so does Kelsey's in here? Kelsey's, I don't know if it's in here. Not all restaurants are in here, right? So what you're gonna have to do is basically look at menus ahead of time. You know, a lot of menus have their nutritional labels on there. Look at them ahead of time and really look at, you know, what am I going to eat ahead of time? And then this will really give you a good understanding of how to dine out and still stay within your calorie range, because this is where most people blow their calories out of the water. You know, some meals, if you're not, you know, you think, oh, I'm going to have like salmon meal. Like, okay, some meals, even if it's salmon or fish, are 1,000 calories for that meal. Now, the keg is a really good example, but if we look at other ones, like they're very packed with calories. Let's just see if I can find any other ones on here as well too. Let's see. Let's look at, for example, milestones. Are they on here? Yeah, not a lot are on here. You'd actually have to go onto the menu to look at those options, but you could just Google like milestones nutrition facts. I just did this for a client the other day. We Googled it and we looked it up. And you'll have to kind of play around and do a little planning ahead of time, but then at least you know you're going into these situations more aware of the nutritional value and what's going on with the food that you're eating, and you feel really good at the end of the day. So hopefully that was helpful. Tara, was that helpful for you?
Yeah, for sure. And I think more menus at restaurants are showing the number of calories. They don't necessarily see the protein and stuff, but they'll put the calories. And I know
Yeah,
even my husband's like, oh my God, that's 1,500 calories for that, you know, baked potato with cheese and bacon and a steak or whatever. And he's like, oh, I'm not ordering that. Like he gets scared off of that because he's like, oh my God, that's so much. Like it's alarming, especially because they
yes,
put a lot of fats and butters and oils in restaurants, right?
yes.
So he's like, we do look at that. So some menus actually have it right on it. So you can make your
Yeah.
choice right in front of your face. But other ones, you're right. You have to look it up ahead of time before you go. I
Yeah, some of
think,
them do have it, which is great, but I
yeah,
think it's an eye opener. Like
for
it really,
sure.
because like if you think about it, you have breakfast and lunch the day before, you go out and eat a 1,500 calorie dinner or even 2,000 calorie dinner if you're adding drinks on top of that as well too. Now you're at like 3,000 calories for the day.
Easily,
You
easily.
do easily, and you do that twice, you're no longer in a calorie deficit. And then you know you get frustrated, like why am I not seeing results, like what's going on, I eat something really healthy, like why what, but it's like okay, but calories do matter, and you also want to make sure you're trying to hit your protein goal as best as possible. So I think the keg is a really great example, like really great restaurant to choose from because they have really good like low calorie options. But when you don't have that as an option, look it up ahead of time, do your research. You know, there is going to be a little bit of effort that needs to be put in on your part, but you know, it's the fact that we going into it, winging it is how you got here in the first place.
The other thing too is at Italian restaurants, they give you a huge portion of pasta. I usually would like split it and then get the rest to go so that you don't eat the full meal, you just eat half. So you still feel like you're having a splurge, but you're not eating the full big portion that's, like you said, 1,800 calories of like
Yeah,
cheese and sauce and whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So
Actually, that's a
cutting
great
it in
option
half,
as
so
well
you're just
too.
enjoying half, and then you
Yeah,
actually feel full with half too, which is
yeah.
funny because it's rich, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great option as well too. Like whatever you're choosing, if you really want to have it, split it with somebody or do half and take it home. That's another great option. So you're only having half the calories, or you could do two options and do half of it as well too. It's just really going to depend. So yeah, this is a really great example of how I teach our clients to do it, how I personally do it as well too. You can use this trick when you're dining out or traveling as well too, and you need to stay within a certain calorie range. You do the exact same thing. Pick restaurants that you can track the calories for so that it makes it really easy for you to stay on plan even when you're traveling. All right, ladies, thanks so much for joining, and congrats again to all of you. You know, stay involved in the community, stay involved on my email list. I do lots of master classes. I'm probably going to do a masterclass the end of this month as well too, and also in November. So keep an eye out for all of that. And really great job on all of you. Thank you. Great job, Tara, as well too. You all did so amazing. It was really hard for me to pick, but I appreciate every single one of you. Okay, have a
Thank
great day.
you. Thanks,
Yeah, you're
Sarah. Have
welcome.
a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.